Welcome back, brothers and sisters of the Watch. Today, we have the second episode of House of the Dragon. I felt like the first episode did a really good job of easing us back into the world. I'm hoping that in this episode, it ends in a way that makes me want to just go straight into the third episode. Because we haven't really had that yet. That first episode of Game of Thrones had Bran falling from the tower, and then the second episode ends with him waking up. Game of Thrones is always really good about having something at the end of the episode that made you want to watch the next one immediately. Another thing I'm curious about is how much time has passed since that first episode. It's funny to see people online saying, oh, well, I feel good about House of the Dragon because it's based off of a book that was finished. You know, people who say that probably haven't read that book. I haven't read all of it, but I know that it reads like a history book. I feel like adapting Fire and Blood is going to be harder than it was adapting A Song of Ice and Fire. Most of the dialogue and character interactions are going to be made up for the show. So it's just something to keep in mind as we go into this. Anyways, let's check out episode 2. Oh! I knew it! We are getting an intro. Holy shit. Oh! I'm kind of glad they kept the same music. Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon. It doesn't work as well. Doesn't sound as good. I'm so glad that they did this. I'm so glad that we got another cool intro. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be though. It's not a map. Nice. Oh, that was great. Oh, the crab feeder. Okay. That's cool. Damn. Oh, man, this is so exciting. God, I love this show.
Strong Lord Commander of Kingsguard. Kingsguard must soon be restored to its full complement of 7. With the help of the Hand, I've invited a number of fine candidates to court. All have passed fair trials.
4 ships have now been lost. The last one was flying my banner. About my ships and my men.
The Crown will compensate you for your ship and crew and make an offering to the men's
I
family.
don't want compensation. I want to seize the stepstones by force and burn out this crab feeder.
In all of its history, my lord, the 7 kingdoms have never entered open war with the free cities. Were that to happen, the losses would be incalculable.
The king's own brother has been allowed to seize Dragonstone and fortify it with an army of his gold cloaks. Daemon has squatted there for over half a year.
Damn.
You, Lord Corlys.
It's been 6 months?
I've sent envoys to Pentos and Volantis to see if we might find common cause.
You have dragon riders, father. Send us.
It isn't that simple, Rhaenyra.
It would be a show of force.
At least the princess has a plan.
Why don't you take the princess to see about the new Kingsguard posting, Lord Commander?
Does the Ferris have some, like,
Fine idea, Your Grace.
armor on his pinky or something?
This knight will protect you as well.
Some dragon bone finger ring armor thing? Or is that like a bandage? I can't tell.
Sir Desmond Callan, a fine knight, princess. Sir Desmond has proved strong and steady in both the tourney lists and without. Sir Desmond recently brought a would-be poacher to justice. You might thank him for his leal service, princess.
We thank you for your loyal service to the crown.
Sir Aemon was knighted at 8 and
Do
10.
any of these knights have combat experience? Beyond capturing poachers.
Sir Criston Cole, son of the steward of the Lord of Blackhaven.
Be welcome, Sir Criston. You saw combat in the Stormlands.
Dornish marches, Princess. I fought for a year as a foot soldier against the Dornish incursions.
I like him. I'll have that one.
I choose Sir Criston Cole.
Let's not be too hasty. There's no doubt Sir Criston is a fine warrior, but houses such as Crickle and Alistair are important allies of the crown.
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat.
Of course, princess.
Well, let us plan Sir Criston's investiture then.
The Valyrian capital was built into a volcano, much like Dragonstone.
That's supposed to be
Closest to the
Valyria?
source of their magic and power. This was the Inoglion, where the blood blood mages work their craft. Over 1,000 dragons, and maybe large enough to span the seas of the world. The glory of old Valyria will never be seen again. 7 hells.
7 hells. Damn, I broke my D&D miniature.
Tell me, how is Rhaenyra?
What do you mean?
Well, these days she doesn't say more than a few words to me. I wish she would approach me.
What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face the Black Dread himself than mine own daughter of 15. You do not mention our talks to Rhaenyra, do you? I fear that she wouldn't understand them.
No, Your Grace. It's only been half a year since my mother died. And already they tried to marry my father off and replace me as heir. What if your father were to marry? Your father loves you. He chose you for his heir.
He didn't choose me, he spurned Damon.
I find this is a way to be with my mother. I know it sounds foolish.
I don't think it's foolish.
There's so much more ceremony to everything in this show. Like with choosing the King's Guard and like with the small council and them using those balls.
I want him to see me as more than his little girl. Mine own father does not know the language of girls either. When I wish to talk with him, I know that I must make the effort.
Well, she handled that well.
Your Grace.
I'm glad we could meet. I know tempers ran hot today.
It was not my intent to make offense.
Your fleet is one of the realm's most important assets, Lord Corlys. But you must understand, as king, it is my obligation to avoid war until such time it is unavoidable.
At the moment, the crown is perceived as being vulnerable.
And a blind incursion in the Stepstones is the only way to demonstrate that we are not. Do you have a specific course of action to propose, my lord?
Join our families.
Wed our daughter Laena. Unite the two great surviving Valyrian houses. With the Targaryen dragons and the Valyrian fleet bound in blood, you can show the realm that the crown's strongest days are ahead, not behind.
Now we know their agenda, or part of it at least.
We haven't spoken much.
Regretted mine. We should be free to speak our minds to one another. I loved your mother very much.
As did I. Sir Harold provided a fine field of tawny knights.
Oh?
But in questioning them, I discovered that Sir Criston is the only man among them with true battle experience.
You'll make a fine knight of the King's Guard.
Today at small council,
Pay it no mind.
I thought I might have had some insight.
You're young.
But
You will learn.
This is awkward. Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, that was a bandage. From when he cut himself on the
This is our
throne.
best chance to save the digit, Your Grace. The maggots will remove the dead flesh and hopefully stop the advance of the rot.
Do you need to put his whole hand under there? Not just the one
I held
finger?
an audience earlier today with Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. He proposed a marriage.
To whom? Your Grace?
The Lady Laena.
Old Corlys has overreached, Your Grace. Such matters must be discussed with the small council.
That is what I'm doing presently.
A match with their daughter would go a long way towards sealing the breach. And uniting the two great Valyrian houses would certainly signal unity throughout the realm.
The Grand Maester's reasoning is sound.
But my daughter.
I dearly loved my own lady wife. The pain of her passing still haunts me. You are the king, but I do not envy you.
What a snake. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my
What's it
god.
like flying the Black Dread? You Valerian's last rider.
With Balerion died the last memory of Valyria of old.
But Vhagar still lives.
Jesus. I forgot how young their daughter was. Oh my god, dude.
Do you know where she nests?
The Dragon Keepers believe she made home somewhere on the coast of the Narrow Sea.
It would be a great honor to join our houses as they were in old Valyria. I would give you many children
Ah!
of Valyrian blood,
God!
so that we might strengthen the royal line and the realm.
Is that what your father told you to say? What did your mother tell you?
That I wouldn't have to bed you until I turned 14.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yikes, bro.
It bothers you, does it not?
My father is a king. It is his duty to take a new wife and strengthen his line.
I did not ask for a lesson in politics. I asked whether this bothers you.
Lena is your daughter, Princess. Does it bother you?
Of course it does. But I understand the order of things.
If you mean to elicit some anger from me, you should know that you're failing, Princess.
Whether it's to my daughter or to someone else's, your father will remarry, sooner than late. His new wife will produce new heirs, and chances are better than not that one of those will be male. And when that boy comes of age and your father has passed, the men of the realm will expect him to be heir. But the men of the realm already had their opportunity to appoint a ruling queen at the Great Council, and they denied it.
They denied you, Princess Rhaenys. The queen who never was. But they bent the knee to me and called me heir to the throne.
Do you remind your father's men of that as you carry their cups? Here is the hard truth, which no one else has the heart to tell you. Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne. And your father is no fool.
It seems the realm wants for a new queen.
A good and kind queen will give comfort to your subjects. Does the small council have a particular lady in mind?
Lord Corlys Balarion has offered the hand of his daughter.
I'm sure that she is good and kind, and that she will enjoy your company, as I have, Your Grace.
What's with her picking at her fingernails all the time?
I brought you something.
Oh, a new D&T miniature.
I asked the
Nice.
stonemasons to mend it.
Very kind. Your Grace, I've called the small council to an emergency session.
Why?
I think it best you hear it directly.
Very well.
Daliloros Daimon Sikiasidas
Daimon.
Eklipseus.
Daemon.
It is the pleasure of Daemon Targaryen, the Prince of Dragonstone and rightful heir to the Iron Throne, to announce that he is to take a second wife in the tradition of old Valyria. Her Grace is with child, and is to have a dragon's egg placed in the babe's cradle, in the custom of House Targaryen.
Things are starting to heat up.
This is nothing less than sedition. I strongly agree, sir.
Scorio Dromon Daemon Leitas.
Romone drozzo iles Daliloros. Daliloro beo matsubile. Idrete econo.
What an insult.
I will go to Dragonstone and drag Daemon back to face justice myself.
My apologies, Your Grace, but I cannot allow it. It's too dangerous. Let me go to Dragonstone.
Surprised we didn't get to see Daemon stealing the egg.
Truly good, Claude. Where do you destroy yourself? Will you see the king tonight?
I've assembled 20 of your best household guards, my lord hand.
Oh, we're finally getting a new location. Damn, that looks awesome.
Welcome to Dragonstone, Otto.
Your occupation of this island is at an end. You're to relinquish the dragon's egg, disband your army, banish your whore. His Grace would never lower himself to entertain such a mummer's farce.
Sir Crispin, wasn't it?
Sir Kristen Cole, my prince.
Ah, yes, apologies. I couldn't recall.
Perhaps my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse.
I'm simply keeping with the traditions of my house, the same as my brother did for his heir.
Those traditions are for the true-born children of royalty, not for bastards fathered on a common whore.
Here it is.
Are you mad? You'd never survive this.
Well, happily, neither would you.
Even if it ends in the death of your unborn child and its mother.
Here we go. God, his dragon looks so cool.
See the fucking steel.
Oh shit. Oh man, this is getting intense.
What are you doing here, princess?
Preventing bloodshed.
¿Qué patuja inazet ristoro? Darira rosso trostas? Que su ugleisa luon zombaz nuon isa?
Ripozzato sono di masen pirovule, cognac nuho ruho, suttailan.
Siculant. I'm right here, Uncle. The object of your ire. The reason that you were disinherited. If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me and be done with all this bother.
Jesus Christ, Rhaenyra. What is Daemon's plan? Oh, Jesus Christ. Whew. Man. Man. I remember this set.
You announced that we were to be wed, and that I was with child. Your child.
Well, perhaps when we are wed, we can make that true.
I ensured long ago that I would never be threatened by childbirth.
You're safe with me, I swear it.
You are Targaryen. You can afford to play your stupid games with the king, but I cannot. I came to you to be liberated.
Liberated. From what?
Fear.
Where is she supposed to be from?
Ever since my name was read by the Archmaesters at the Great Council, I have felt Corlys Velarion's envious gaze staring at me from across the Blackwater.
Proud men don't like having to look up.
I never asked to remarry.
As king, you have a claim on all things. Even those you don't want. Marriage is not an obligation you can put off for long. I fear nothing short of a direct line to the Iron Throne would satisfy him. You should also consider that we find ourselves on the precipice of war in the Stepstones, and the Sea Snake holds claim to nearly half the realm's ships.
He would not dare withhold them in the face of the realm's need.
If you truly want my unencumbered opinion,
I do.
you should wed Lady Velaryon, Your Grace.
You disobeyed me. You fled King's Landing without a word.
And I got shit done.
May I sit?
You went to Dragonstone.
And retrieve the egg without bloodshed. A feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
I sometimes forget how alike you both were. Without her, the Red Keeper's lost a warmth, and I dare say it will never recover.
It pleases me to hear you say this, to know that I'm not alone in my grief.
I wish I had known better what to say to you in the aftermath. I could never replace your mother. then I intend to replace you as heir. But you are my only heir. And our line is vulnerable. Too easily ended. And by marrying again, I may begin to ensure that we are better defended.
Against whom?
Whomever may dare to challenge us. I have decided to take a new wife. I intend to marry.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The Lady Alicent Hightower.
I knew it. Oh, shit.
Before spring's end.
Damn, things are gonna get messy.
This is an absurdity. My house is Valerian, the greatest power in the realm.
And I am your king.
Damn.
Rhaenyra.
Shit. So much for not becoming estranged.
Valerian's origins reach back to old Valyria, more ancient even than House Targaryen, according to some texts. But unlike the Targaryens, we were no dragon lords. For centuries, my house had to scratch out an existence from the sea with grit and luck. When I ascended the Driftwood throne, I knew what I wanted, so I went out and seized it. Unlike every other lord of the realm, I can say that I built my house's high seat with the strength of mine own back. I've always thought of you and I as having been made from the same cloth.
Oh shit, it's Daemon. It's not who I was expecting.
I wasn't aware you had a king for a brother.
We're both men who have had to cut our own way through the world. You've heard of the troubles in the Stepstones?
Crap.
The nearest prince is feeding Westerosi sailors to the crabs. It was never my brother's strongest trait.
What?
Being king.
Got him.
And the king's failures have allowed him to accumulate strength. I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts and balls and tourneys.
I will speak for my brother as I wish. You will not.
Waiting in the Stepstones is a chance for you to prove your worth to any who might yet doubt it. Our worth is not given. It must be made.
The hell am I looking at right now? Is he wearing some dude's face? Shit. Damn. Ah, gosh. So nice having Game of Thrones back. Well, that was a slower episode. I feel like that did a lot of setting up. I think there's a lot that they have to set up for the dance to happen. For the Dance of the Dragons. Some really good shots in this episode as well. Yeah, that episode was mostly set up with one really intense scene. One really intense scene there towards the end. Definitely the scene with Daemon and Otto felt like peak Thrones. Like, oh, it's back, baby. We're back. There's still no moment that really grabs you, though, at the end of the episode. Still no cliffhanger. Game of Thrones was always so good about the cliffhangers, but they're not really doing that yet. I feel like that's important, though. Especially with this new show. With so many people apprehensive. Although I think the first episode is their #1 show now. I think the first episode of the show was their biggest premiere. Of course, I knew Viserys was going to take Alicent as his wife. That was pretty obvious. Like, it's definitely her father's agenda. Not necessarily what she wants, you know. Now Rhaenyra feels betrayed by her friend and her father. Still waiting for things to really pop off. So, still waiting for the hype. No big moment this episode. No big shock moment. There really hasn't been anything like that. Other than the birth scene in the first episode. But that wasn't like... That was more just emotionally draining than shocking. I feel like the next episode needs to be a really great one. We've had 2 episodes of setting things up. It's time for stuff to start happening. It's time for the dance to begin. I want more. Ugh. Maybe they should have just dropped the first 3 episodes together. Well, thanks for joining me for this episode, but my watch has ended. Now my watch has ended. It's over.